A roundup of the latest news now. Here are our top stories. "18-year-old teenage tennis sensation Emma Raducanu's US Open win triggers a global crisis as numerous countries battle to claim her as their own." Amazon offers to pay US staff tuition fees. We'll hear from Jeff Bezos. The AUKUS pact between the US, UK and Australia leaves France out in the cold. We'll have a special report. And Nigerian fraudster known as Hush Puppy is sued by US footwear company Hush Puppies. More on those top stories to come. First to tennis and British teenager Emma Raducanu's victory at the US Open on the 11th of September appears to have resulted in a global crisis as world powers battle for bragging rights after she unexpectedly won the tournament. The player, who is British, lives in the UK and was born in Canada to a Romanian father and Chinese mother, can claim a number of national allegiances, with several states threatening to withdraw ambassadors from rival states. We convened a panel of just some of the countries involved. "Her surname is Raducanu. You cannot get more Romanian than this. She is as Romanian as Nicolae Ceausescu." "Oh, come off it. She lives in Bromley, British national, represents Britain, end of." She look very Chinese. She speak a fluent Mandarin. Her mother from China. She Chinese." "Well, it was the US Open after all. She loves New York. Yeah, she's one of us." "Hey, I hate to spoil the party, but she was born in Canada. She likes to hang out there." "You see, she might have some Romana gypsy blood. Historically, they migrated from India to Europe. So actually, they are thinking she's Indian." Listen, we haven't had a Grand Slam winner for nearly 20 years, you bastards. She's an Aussie." We think she should be Japanese because Osaka-sana go off the layers slightly." To the US now, and tech giant Amazon has offered to pay college tuition fees for 750,000 of its frontline workers. The move comes amid criticism of Amazon's treatment of many of its staff and an ongoing labour shortage in the US. With me to discuss the announcement is Jeff Bezos. Jeff, why now? Well, we take employee well-being and the benefits very seriously, and we'd like to show our gratitude to all our Amazonians doing their part to make the company so successful. On the subject of staff well-being, we've received many reports of Amazon doing quite the opposite, with temperatures at some of your US warehouses being so extreme that staff have fainted, sweatshop conditions, ongoing opposition to trade union membership in the US and UK, staff having to urinate in bottles in order to meet tight delivery deadlines, extensive overtime for many during the Christmas period with no overtime pay to show for it, unpaid wages. This doesn't exactly sound like a company that cares that much about staff well-being. Bob, listen. When you have an operation as large as Amazon's, it's impossible to keep everybody happy all the time. We're like a country. There are people who are doing well and people who aren't. That's life. On the subject of life and lifestyle choices, you recently went up into space with your brother. While you were in space in a rocket enjoying yourself up there, there were Amazon delivery drivers urinating in bottles in traffic jams down here. What do you say to people who would argue that you are out of touch with your staff and the kind of lives they lead? I would say, fuck you, Bob. This is not what was scripted. This is not what my PR team were told. And see you in court, asshole. To politics now, and the US, UK and Australia have signed the so-called AUKUS Pact, a security initiative to increase Western military presence in the Pacific and counter China's influence there. France, which was on the verge of agreeing a $56 billion submarine deal with Australia, which was subsequently cancelled by Australia in the wake of the AUKUS Pact, recalled its ambassadors from the US and Australia. With me to discuss these developments is our political analyst Francois Levallois. Francois, in simple terms, what happened? Hello, Bob. In simple terms, imagine you are in a playground. You make friends with another child. You play together. They become your friend. You are very grateful. You bring many sweets to your friends. They look at them, try them. They are happy. They say they will buy many sweets from you, and you are very excited. You are looking forward to making some money, and of course you are cherishing the friendship. But the next day, your close friend comes with two children who you have never seen before, one big bully and the other a small, skinny kid hiding in the background. And your friend tells you that they have decided to buy sweets from the other big boy. And you can do nothing to stop them. And then it becomes very difficult because... Francois, thank you very much indeed. And finally, Nigerian internet fraudster Ramon Abbas, also known by his nickname Hush Puppy, has been sued by US footwear company Hush Puppies and asked to change his nickname to avoid being confused with the brand. We heard from Hush Puppy's spokesman S. Padril and Hush Puppy himself via video link from his prison cell in the US where he's awaiting sentence. S., why have you decided to sue Hush Puppy? Well, Bob, we simply do not want to be associated with a guy who's basically a thief. We take a lot of pride in our shoes, and we do not want to have any link in name or otherwise to a guy who stands for theft and dishonesty. Hush Puppy, what do you make of that?
I'll tell you what, excuse the pun, but Hush Puppy's my foot. You know what the US is like. These people just want to make money for no reason. They act as they wish. For example, the UAE does not have an extradition treaty with the US where I was charged. So they bundled me onto a plane and the FBI basically kidnapped me from Dubai last year after I was arrested. Is that okay? Of course not. Does anybody care? Of course not.
Okay, we're running out of time. Brief final thoughts from each of you in no more than 30 seconds. S? Yeah, everybody's got to make money. We do too. And our black Jasper slip-on shoes are on sale. Hush Puppy?
Instagram has kept my account active despite my conviction. I believe in exoneration by social media.
S. Hush Puppy, thank you very much indeed.